Okay, so our first tier list is going to be species. Easy controversial one. Gotta make sure right off the bat everyone's mad at me. So first, crocodiles. When crocodiles and deers came out, I did create a crocodile. I love crocodiles. I'm gonna say I feel like crocodiles are very safe A tier. I feel like they're very fun. And nothing really mad about them. I don't feel like they're perfect enough to be S, but a solid A tier. Now, deers, I would say for corporate clash, I use a deer. But I would say for rewritten, I don't love the look of them as much. I still think they're pretty good. Nothing too mad about them. Let's go solid B tier. Bears, I've never been a fan of bears that much. Bears are very okay. I think that bears would be a D. I think I can't think of many important bear characters in the game. And they don't do much that's of importance, so I'm going to give them a solid D. Now, cats, gotta be honest, not a fan of cats. I feel like cats can be some of the meanest tunes. And I feel like every year on Halloween, everyone's a black cat, and you get all these new tunes, and it's not my favorite. So cat, I could give him an E, but I'm gonna keep him an F because it's safe. Now dogs, easy S tier. My main tune from when I was a kid until now is a dog. Flippy's a dog. It's easy. There's no reason to say anything else. Dogs, best species in the game by far. Now monkeys. Monkeys are also pretty, like, they're fine. I'm not mad at monkeys whatsoever, but I also feel like they're like, actually no, I like them. There are some good monkeys. I can think of some. Okay, I'm gonna give monkeys a B. I feel like they're right around the same tier as a deer. That feels fair. Now mice, or the mouse, whichever. Okay, I really like them. Before Toontown Online closed, I had an orange mouse. But I still don't think they're perfect. I think they're really good though. I'm gonna give the mice an A tier. Okay. Now pigs. Pigs are another. They feel very fine. I've never had a pig. I'm not a huge fan of pigs. I feel like pigs, right in the same area as a bear. Pigs were the last species to be released in Toontown Online. So, I feel like they fit very appropriately with the bears. Now, rabbits or bunnies or whatever, pretty good animal. I do have to say, they're very good animal. I think they also belong in the A. I really like them. I always think Clerk Clara is my, the number one bunny that I think about. I'm definitely a fan of, bunnies. Now, the more I think about it, I think monkeys don't deserve a B tier. I don't love monkeys enough, and I don't think I've ever had a monkey, so I'm gonna move monkeys down to C. Now, is it ducks? Why am I forgetting what ducks are? But a duck. I think ducks also belong in A. I have a lot of favorites. These are basically just all the tunes I've used personally in Rewritten, but I really like them. I do have to say though, an orange duck where it's orange head and an orange like bill, that is an F tier. Anyone like that, I am not a fan of. Now, horses, my final one, I would say E. I think they are not my favorite whatsoever. They always feel like they're not my favorites in the game. I don't love people who are horses, I feel like. Yeah, definitely solid E tier. Don't feel like they are as bad as cats, but solid E. Okay. Now we're discussing different types of gags. So I think first is tune-up. I'm a fan of the support gags, as in tune-up and lure. I think tune-up is a solid good, we'll say, for this one. I do like it. I've never had anything against tune-up. I kind of like using it, because I always feel like it's important to have people with tune-up. and especially in Corporate Clash, they did a great job of making tune-up feel very useful, so definitely belongs here. Lore, I have a love for lore. I think it's much more enjoyable doing luring and killing that way as opposed to sound, which I'll get to later. But I'm a big lore fan, so I think lore deserves to be great. Throw, classic, amazing, beautiful, a queen, a king, royalty. Throw, you know what? No, throw has to go first. The first gag you'll ever think of in the game is a cupcake, and it's deservedly so. So throw more than deserves to be up there. Sound, I'm gonna say sound is meh. I think that when everything just turns into just sounding through everything, it makes the game a little less enjoyable. I know that's why some people intentionally don't pick sound to make it more interesting, but then also, I always choose tune-up out of Toontown Central. So, for me, I always have to catch up with my sound, and it's always a very annoying process, so I'm going to leave sound down here. And then Squirt, I'm going to say is average. I don't have anything against Squirt either. It's very okay. I feel like it's like Throw's bad little brother. It could definitely be improved upon, but we'll leave it as average. Trap I'm also pretty neutral with. Actually, no. I'm a fan of Trap. That's a lie. I really like using Trap. On my main tune, I chose Trap over Drop, because that's usually what it comes down to for me. And I think it's really fun to be able to have the gags that do the most damage. Especially like TNT, you can kill pretty much anything besides level 12. So, I'm a Trap fan. Now, Drop. Nope, don't like Drop. Never really had a tune I've had Drop on that I've really used it too much, so we're gonna give Drop bad, and I feel like this pretty much reflects how I feel about the gags. Drop is so not my favorite. Bad accuracy, that bothers me too much, and it contradicts itself with lore, which you'll see exactly why, So, we now have the playgrounds. And this also includes Corporate Clash playgrounds. So, I'm gonna grade everything as a combination between Corporate Clash and Rewritten. To start, I feel like we should go just in order here. Toontown Central, above average. I think it is the classic, introduces you to Toontown. Not incredibly interesting playground, but I think it's a very fun one, very calm. You always end up going back there. There was always a bunch of people gathered in on those weird districts where they would do like game shows and stuff like that. So, definitely above average. Donald's Dock, I think that's a very above average playground in my opinion. I really enjoy Donald's Dock. I always feel like Donald's Dock is always the most exciting thing to get to when you play through a game. It's always my favorite one in terms of like, it's the first time you really feel like you're playing Toontown, where in the first playground in Toontown Central, it doesn't feel that exciting. It starts to get exciting in Donald's Dock. And then Yield Toontown, incredibly impressive. I'm putting it right up there with Donald's Dock. It has a mini boss. It's black and white until you get the Toon Task done. It is an incredible playground. I'm gonna not talk about it too much in case you haven't played Corporate Clash, but I'm a huge fan of it. Daisy's Garden, I think that's an S tier playground, especially because it's attached to Cellbot HQ. Everything about it, I feel like Daisy's Garden does an incredible job. It's always exciting to get to. And then also going with that, Cellbot HQ, I'm also going to give that one an S tier. I think Cellbot HQ is like the classic playground that you always think about, always your first, like, I feel like most of my Toontown earliest memories come from Cellbot HQ. Then, Minnie's Melodyland is my least favorite playground by a mile. I am so not a fan of it. I think it just does such a bad job of everything. I don't even know specifically, but I feel like every time I get to it, it's my least favorite one to be at. There's that task with the whole cream pie that you have to get to, and I never have it ready in time. So then I always try to keep my squirt and throw together. You have to start grinding your throw really aggressively. It's definitely my least favorite. Then the Berg, another amazing playground. Okay. Do I want Berg to be S tier as well? I'm giving a lot of S tier playgrounds. I'm gonna say yes. I think the Berg is an incredibly fun playground. It feels like it is the perfect. You're starting to feel like it's late game. The little old man task, ooh. Little old man is the only reason I dropped him down to A. Those 24-story buildings, I always like them for training, because it does give you a good time to train to get to Donald's Dreamland, but it was never my favorite. Now, Donald's Dreamland is, I think it's in the same kind of tier as Toontown Central. I like it. I don't hate it. Nothing too bad against it for me. It's just there. It's the very late game one. You end up spending a lot of time there, even if it's not like directly doing tasks in Donald's Dreamland, but just doing the tasks for Donald's Dreamland, because usually it sends you around to other places. Or for me, I like to do bosses while I'm in there. Other than that, I just feel like it's very above average. I feel like it's very fair right there. Then, I believe these are both Acorn Acres. I'm gonna rank them as one thing. I think Acorn Acres is below average. In Corporate Clash, it's not my favorite one because I'm kind of stuck there right now, trying to get my boss bot suit. I'll put them together. But I'm stuck there doing my boss bot suit right now. The streets don't have maps on them. I think it is an incredibly well designed playground. I think that many of the issues I have with it are very like personal things, but I think that I feel comfortable putting them there. The design of them is incredible, but I feel like it's very fine for me to put them right there. Goofy Speedway is another low tier one for me. No, F. I have never been a fan of doing racing in this game. I've never been interested in it. I've never even gotten a laugh point off of it. I'm leaving it right there. I'm sorry, Goofy Speedway. Now, this is Lawbot HQ. I think Lawbot's the most mediocre one. Cashbot, I think, is great. And Bossbot's right around there. I think this is also the order of just how I think I would rank their bosses as well. I like CFO more, but I think Sellbot HQ as a whole is just much more memorable, especially doing the factories there. But then the mints, they're okay. Front threes, back nines, middle sixes, they're also like fine at best. And then the Loffices in Corporate Clash have made Lawbot HQ redeeming, but in Toontown Rewritten, oh my god, I don't think I've ever done like, I definitely have, but I always try to avoid doing anything in Lawbot HQ. It always feels like the weakest playground for me, or the weakest boss playground. So yeah, I feel very comfortable with this list. Definitely would have to say this is how I feel about a lot of them. Okay, our next tier list is the Cogs, including bosses. This is one I feel like we're going to be able to agree on much more, because we're talking about enemies here. So, Ambulance Chaser, I've always been a fan of them. I'm going to go quicker through these. I feel like they don't really bother me ever. They're very like a fine cog. That's really all I have to say about them. Same thing with the Backstabber. Backstabbers, nothing bother me about them. They're just kind of there. This is gonna be a group one. I'm gonna put, oh my god, I don't even remember what they're called. I believe it's Downsizer and Bean Counters. So Downsizers and Bean Counters bother me. They look the exact same. It was lazy design on Disney's part. I'm so not a fan of them. Honestly, no. They're getting fired. I have such a distaste for these two just because they literally are the same cog. I'm fine if reusing things if it's done properly. That's just blatantly the same cog. Big Cheese, love them. Same with Bigwig. Both of them are like the big, strong cogs that just look a little different than the other ones, and I think that they're done very well. Bloodsuckers, another great cog. Just fun aesthetic. That's really all. Bottom feeders, very average. Nothing great, nothing bad about them. Just, they're there. Okay, the CEO. Ooh. I'm gonna say the CEO is an A. I feel like I don't love the CEO as much as some of the other bosses. Personally, my favorite is the CFO. CFO is my favorite fight. I'd probably say after the CFO, I'd put the VP. I think VP deserves an S tier as well, because I feel like Cellbot HQ is so classic to the Toontown experience. I think the CFO is the best boss. The VP is the most classic. CEO is the most difficult, and then there's the CJ. CJ is just there. It means nothing to me. Besides the fact that my main toon's name was CJ and I thought it was cool, there's nothing else special about them. But, yeah, I think that's how I would rank the bosses. I'm comfortable with that. Now, oh no. Cold callers. Okay, so cold callers, I think, have a similar issue where them and short changes look very similar, and for both being the same tier even, it kind of bothers me. There's not really much other reason to that, it's just, there's no reason that they have to be the same thing, and they're the same tier. They bother me. Double Talker, they kind of bothered me a little bit, because I remember in Toontown Central, I feel like they were a little strong, and they always bothered me there. Specifically, Double Talkers, and I feel like any Yes Men more than any other cog. I don't mind them overall. They don't do much offensive to me, but I feel like they belong right around here. Flunky, obviously S tier. I feel like Flunky's everyone's favorite cog. They look different than all the other cogs. I just think they're a fun cog. They belong right there. Glad Handler, no real opinion on. They just feel very average. I feel like you see him in Cellbot HQ a lot. That's really all. Headhunters, fun design. It's the same reason I love... Oh my god. One of my personal favorites is the Micromanager. Especially in Corporate Clash, they're tiny. They are hilarious, and I love them. But Headhunter also gives a little different look of... Just a little something different that spices it up compared to the other cogs. Now, is that a Mr. Hollywood? Out of all, like, the top tier cogs, definitely the weaker one. I think, especially something like the Mingler, which does a better job, just being unique, something different. Mr. Hollywood, I like him in Corporate Clash again because he has the sunglasses, but in Rewritten, I think just very average. Legal Eagles, very fun cog. Just being an eagle, of course, easy pun. Same thing with a loan shark. Always thought that they were very creative. Moneybags, nothing special about them as well. I think they're very in the middle. Same kind of vibe as a Glad Handler. Mover and Shaker F. I feel like if you have tried to do Cellbot HQ, or any type of Cellbot stuff with a group, you know how much Mover and Shakers are horrible because of their jumping ability. Whatever attack that is, it is the worst one. Name Dropper, I think same kind of area as the Yes Men Double Talker. And I feel like, once again, same kind of thing. I feel like they group the most in my head together. The same way, although the tier 1s group together very well. All the tier 3s group together very well in my head, because in Toontown Central, the max level is level 3. But they're all just very similar to me. Number Cruncher, easy pun. I think the mouth is kind of funny. That's really all. Pencil Pusher, another very easy pun. I think it's hilarious. Penny Pincher. Very neutral on. Nothing special. That's really all. We got the Corporator. Awesome cog. Same with the Robber Baron. Both of them, once again, very creative. Very easy pun. Very funny. Spin Doctor. I feel like these are weirdly strong. I'm giving them a C. They bother me. They are always ridiculously strong for absolutely no reason. Telemarketer. Super neutral on. And, wow, I'm forgetting what this one's called, too. Two-Face. I totally knew that one, because I was confusing it with the Double Talker. Another average cog. Maybe? You know what? I'm going to drop my group of 4. They bother me more than I think I was giving them credit for. I'm way too neutral on all these guys. These 4 that were the level 3s you find in Toontown Central, I have too much of a distaste for, because I can definitely imagine a Tightwad, especially that attack he's doing right there, making me sad. And that attack as well, oh my god. So, definitely, I feel comfortable with this list now. These bottom 3, my least favorite though. And Micromanager, still one of my favorites. She goes right there.